We welcome you to rainy Louisville, Kentucky. Lynn Family Stadium, the site for an Eastern Conference heavyweight battle between Louisville City and Charleston Battery. Alongside former Manchester United keeper Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for spending part of your Saturday with us here in Louisville. Well, Danny Cruz, Gary, has departed for MLS, but that doesn't really matter because Louisville City is doing what they always do. They're rolling through everybody, undefeated in all competition so far this season.
Doesn't matter if it's at home, if it's away, if it's against good competition, they're able to score. They've beaten Lexington a couple of times, they've beaten Rhode Island. They are just an absolute monster team.
And they're trying to move their unbeaten streak overall at home to 27 straight games. We take a look at tonight's player profile presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Jansen Wilson, March Player of the Month nominee. He scored a brace in the first half in last year's matchup here against Charleston.
And he scored this season as well, a goal and an assist in 2 matches against Miami FC and Rhode Island. And if you go back to the last match against Lexington, it was his shot that was pushed out by the keeper, ended up with Tola Shawamni scoring. So a player who can score goals and he can make them.
On the other side, Charleston Battery, while they've been one of the class clubs of the Eastern Conference over the last few years, they're in a bit of a rut right now. They've had to replace a lot of production from 2025. Ben Pierman searching for answers.
Yeah, lost at Detroit there, Darren Smith with a goal, and then this one was a heartbreaker. A former player of theirs, Ortiz, scoring in the dying moments in the Open Cup, Vigo Ortiz, and that put a dagger through the heart of their chances, Charleston Battery. So they need to bounce back from those 2 losses.
One of the guys they're relying upon to replace some of the production of last year is the youngster, the 18-year-old Colton Swan, back from his time with the United States Men's National U20 program. He's got 3 goals to lead the club across all comps.
He's done well in terms of scoring goals. All 3 of them, 2 against Badgers in the Cup and 1 against Birmingham, scored from around the 6-yard box. So he really is a hunter in the box, looking for any drop downs, and let's hope they can get him some service today. Not easy to get into that Lou City box.
It has been a long time since Charleston Battery have won here at Lynn Family Stadium. Lou City has controlled this matchup. They've won the last 3. Will that streak continue? We'll have lineups and kick coming up next.
It's time to plan a family get-together between your family and the Corolla family. Toyota Corolla has set the standard for dependability and value for generations. That's why it's often passed down between generations. In fact, it's the most dependable in its class, built right here in the USA. And so is the versatile new Corolla Cross with plenty of cargo space. Now get 4.99 APR financing on a new Corolla or a $209 a month lease. Or lease this Corolla Cross for $259 a month. America drives Toyota. Let's go places.
When the Thompsons first bought their house, all they saw was their dream home. They didn't yet know that with a home equity line of credit from Commonwealth Credit Union, it would be their keys to epic cannonballs and the chance to see the world. As years went by, it allowed them to empower the next generation and make happily ever after come true. Which begs the question, what could your home be doing for you? Let's find out together. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Big game tonight at Commonwealth Dodge.
And what a starting lineup we have. The Charger with 550 horsepower.
The new Ram, #1 in class for full-size trucks.
Last, the Durango. Power and craftsmanship. Score big at Commonwealth Dodge.
Eric is so knowledgeable. He will whip up stats that I didn't even know existed. He is one of the best storytellers I've ever encountered.
Haley just brought this tremendous energy. She's a go-getter. If she has to jump into the middle of a crowd, she'll jump into the middle of the crowd, and we've seen that. It's kind of fun to watch.
His opinion is one that is extremely respected and desired from a sports standpoint in this community.
You know, at this point, I've covered thousands of games in my career. It's something I've always enjoyed from the very start.
I'm Haley Shongart.
I'm Eric Crawford.
WDRB Sports.
We're hitting the road in the Crossroads Chevy Traverse, exploring Kentuckiana and discovering what makes this place so unique.
Watch WDRB Crossroads on WDRB Plus, a free app for your phone or TV.
Almost time for kick at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville. Lou City and Charleston Battery, 2 rivals on the pitch, set to go at it for the first time in 2026 as we look at tonight's starting lineups for this match brought to you by Ford, building together.
Just the one change for Lou City. That's the lineup that beat Brooklyn. That was their last league game. Brandon Day is back from international duty. He replaces Sam Giedel, who drops to the bench. It's a 3-4-3 or 5-2-3, however you want it, with the wonderful Donovan leading the line up front.
And for Ben Pierman and Charleston, 4 changes from the Detroit game.
Yeah, Russo Landry comes in at right back, Douglas Martinez left back, Lauren Kisiedu, and the youngster Colton Swan up front. To the bench go Langston Blackstock, Nathan Messner, Malik Foster, and Miguel Berry. So it's an 18-year-old who leads this lineup in what is more of a 4-5-1 defensive lineup by Charleston Battery.
And it's Colton Swan's first USL Championship regular season start, and it comes in a huge match here against Louisville City. And we're underway from Lynn Family Stadium in rainy Louisville. Josh Appel, Gary Bailey with you. Louisville City unbeaten, undefeated to begin 2026 under their interim head coach Simon Bird, who took over in mid-March for Danny Cruz, one of the best coaches in league history, who's now on the staff for Minnesota United. And this, Gary, we talked to Ben Pierman earlier this week. He said the first 15-20 minutes would be really important for his side, not only to weather the storm, no pun intended given the rain, but because of what happened last year in this matchup in this stadium, a 4-0 deficit at halftime. Jansen Wilson had a first half brace. It seemed like Charleston would have had the good start. They had a great chance that was denied by Damian Loss. Turnover on the other end, Lou City got their first chance and cashed in, and the rest was history.
Well, if you want to go toe-to-toe with Lou City, that's the risk you take, and pretty clearly Ben Pierman's decided that the most astute way to take on the team that's sitting top of the table, 6 wins from 6, is to defend in numbers. And in fact, to quote him, he said, we must be able to suffer and defend, something he says they didn't do against Detroit City enough, and in the first half against Charlotte Independence in the Cup, where they got knocked out in their last match. So he's looking for a really good defensive performance here today. I'm not even sure that he'd worry if they lost by 1 or 2, but as long as the performance is good, he knows that the rest of the season they can build on that, because so far it's been a tough start to the season for Charleston Battery by their very high standards.
No doubt about it. It is, of course, tough when you're trying to replace 52 of your 63 goals from last season. So there's a lot of meshing and a lot of chemistry still to be built, and a good early season test for them on the road against this Lou City side that is unbeaten in 20 matches in a row in the regular season and 26 straight in the regular season here at Lynn Family Stadium.
By the way, got to mention some of those players have gone, because I think Ben Pierman's really got a massive job here to rebuild this team, as he has done before with teams. But MD Myers, Cal Jennings, Rubio Rubin, Aaron Malloy, I mean, every one of those is top class. So it's going to be a little settling in period, I think, for the Charleston Battery fans before they're going to see the sort of heights they've seen the last couple of seasons.
And these have been the number 1 and number 2 teams in the Eastern Conference the last couple of seasons. Charleston building up. Here's Swan. Swan trying to get there, but he's cut off by the 17-year-old Brandon Days. That was 17 years old versus 18 years old. And Days playing in the middle of that back 3 trio of Sean Tosh and Kyle Adams, the reigning USL Championship Defender of the Year and the all-time leader in minutes and appearances. And they've got the 17-year-old smack dab between the two of those guys.
I'm sure Sean Tosh is feeling old because Brandon Days is half his age.
By the way, Commonwealth Credit Union, you can learn more about how they can help you meet your financial goals. Visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com. First 4+ minutes. Decent here for Charleston, of course, a long way to go.
We were just chatting earlier, and one of the few ways you can beat Lou City, and I say there's only a few because they are so good. In the playoffs last year, it was Detroit City. Year before, it was Rhode Island, who sat deep in a low block, let Lou City come at them, and then occasionally attacked, and they managed to get victories against Lou City right here at Lynn Family Stadium. So I just wonder if that's part of the thinking here with Charleston is, like now, if you get the ball on the front foot, that's fine, push numbers up, but as soon as you don't, get back, defend in numbers, get bodies behind the ball, and let's just try and frustrate Lou City.
You know, Gary, the poor weather here probably favors Charleston a bit, mucks the game up some.
Doesn't look too bad as yet. We saw a lot of rain falling earlier, but I'm looking at the ground to see how the ball lands.
Flag up here for offside. Casadu, and a bit early of a start on that run.
I'm not seeing any water splashing up from the pitch, so I don't think it's too bad. If it starts to rain heavily during the game, then absolutely, to your point, I think it would favor Charleston Battery, who are just probably coming here mostly to do a sort of defensive, shut Lou City down, quieten the crowd type effort, and any disruption they can use, including the weather, they'd be very happy with that.
Charleston wins the ball back. Zamudio, the keeper, had a strong season last year in his first real chance to be a #1 in this league. Apponodu whiffed on that, and it's a throw-in for Louisville City. Apponodu, center back pairing with Graham Smith. Sean Suber, he's the only Charleston Battery player to play every minute, start every match so far. Now that Nathan Messer will come off the bench today for Ben Pierman. Suber, you may remember, the anchor of the back line for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds that went all the way through the postseason last year without conceding a goal, and he has played in the midfield to begin his Charleston Battery career.
A number of white shirts there, to the point I was mentioning earlier, dropping into that very low block, final third of the pitch. Not really that bothered about Lou City having the ball on their halfway line. If they can steal it, they will do, and as soon as they come under pressure, they drop deep again. So I think that's basically how this is going to play out for the rest of the match.
Flag up here for offside. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Lou City. Get all of your Lou City tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Always great support there at Lynn Family Stadium. Always makes it more difficult for teams to play there. But for Charleston Battery, Josh, it's 2 losses back-to-back. They lose again here today, which is very possible against this Lou City side. Suddenly, 3 losses in a row. It's not feeling good in that locker room. So tough times, again, by their very high standards. Ben Pierman has been amazing with what he's been able to do last 2 seasons. But by their very high standards, this is probably going to be a tough couple of months for the players and the coaching staff to get through. And then hopefully they will settle in and start to get some good wins.
Ben Pierman, now the longest tenured coach in USL Championship with Danny Cruz's departure. And his next win will be number 100 in his career. As this long ball looking down the left side for Jake Morris is too long and out for a goal kick. And Ben was very candid with us in our conversation this week. Obviously, he lamented some of the struggles his team has had on the pitch, but he took a lot of responsibility for it with himself. Said he hasn't done a good enough job coaching in the first part of this season.
Well, he's very brave to do that, and some coaches do that to deflect the pressure off their players, but having seen the XG against Detroit, it was 0.14. You know, a Charleston Battery side with expected goal of 0.14, that's not up to the level, and the coaching might have something to do with it, but I think it's the players themselves who are going to have to answer the call here. But you mentioned it, you can't lose 4 or 5 of the best players in the league, and they have been, you know, the MD Myers and Cal Jennings and Aaron Malloy's, and not suffer.
take some time to figure things out. And there is a ton of quality talent on this roster. He's just trying to figure out how to make it all fit. But, I mean, you go from Cal Jennings, 17 goals, M.D. Myers, 15 goals. That's half the production there. And the rest of the guys they lost, Juan David Torres, who had double-digit assists last season.
Rubio Ruben, who's now top goal scorer with El Paso. Aaron Malloy is running the show at Lexington. Those are all top players.
Morris for Lou City. Tosh has to track that down. No Aiden McFadden for Lou City for the next good bit of this season. They do expect him back at some point, but he's out with a long-term injury. Josh Jones still out battling an injury as well. And there hasn't been much turnover with this roster for Louisville City aside from Philip Goodrum, who's now with Lexington as well. Obviously, he was the team's leading scorer last season. Arturo Ordonez has departed as well, but it's largely the same group. We haven't even mentioned Taylor Davila, the reigning player of the year in USL Championship. So it's honestly no surprise that this team has kept it rolling through the first 6 games. It's just a machine.
Maybe just one other change, Damien Lassi in goals,
yeah.
who I thought was a top-class keeper, but Hugo Farou is also right up there as one of the best in the USL. So again, to your point, they haven't really missed a beat, the quality. And Chris Donovan, wait till he gets some service in the area. He's a fantastic header of a ball. And we haven't seen anything yet in this match, but in other matches, if he gets good service, he's going to score a ton of goals from that sort of mid-center, 6 to 8 yards out, coming in, getting headers. It's going to be a big threat to opposing teams.
Got the last 2 USL Championship Defenders of the Year playing in this match. Graham Smith and Kyle Adams. It's just remarkable how great these 2 clubs have been, but specifically Louisville City. What a touch. And it's played towards Farou, who's able to gobble it up. Nice job on that far side by Manny Perez. There's Simon Bird, the interim head coach. 5th match as the interim. Loved our conversation with him. And you said to him on our call, pretty easy, right?
Yeah, he's won every game he's been in charge of. Who said being a coach is tough? Oh, there'll be tough days to come. But generally with Lou City, of the last few seasons, it's the playoffs where it gets really difficult. They've been imperious throughout the season. They've been the standard bearer, but they've got to the playoffs last 2 years and got knocked out in the first round. So they've got to find a way to get past that. Muka Kale was the sort of player they bought who they felt could just break down lines by getting into the box when needed. I want to see him play a little bit more often up front because I really do like the sort of directness of a Muka Kale. But those are the sort of players that brought in to break down defenses when they sit deep, as they did, as teams have done in playoffs.
Emilio Icaza, who just played in his 100th game across all competitions with Charleston Battery, moves it along. We just talk about that regular season prowess of Lou City. 28-1-3 since 2024 at home in USL Championship League matches. They, of course, only lost 1 match period last year against North Carolina in June. Sorry, that 28-1-3 record is across all competitions. If they didn't lose at home last year, they're still on that unbeaten streak. There's the foul on Landry battling with Davila. That replay presented by West Banco.
A little bit lucky there, Husso Landry, not to pick up a yellow. It wasn't just a little tug, it was, he took the shorts.
Well, he earned his fair share of yellows last season.
He did. Got to keep an eye on him when things get tight. He gets a little bit upset and aggravated, and you want aggression, and as all coaches will tell you want controlled aggression.
The USL on CBS Sports Network kicks off April 18th with an Eastern Conference showdown. These Charleston Battery take on the fast start Tampa Bay Rowdies at 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch the action on the CBS Sports Network April 18th. There are a trio of former Charleston Battery players now starring for Tampa Bay Rowdies. M.D. Myers, one of them.
And they're unbeaten. The only other team besides Lou City with full points is Tampa Bay Rowdies. So another tough match for Charleston Battery coming up.
This is a terrible giveaway by Charleston. It's Serrano, edge of the 18, and then a great recovery supporting from behind.
Good pressure from Lou City here, but this is a terrible ball. Playing blind there, Kirill Parmov. And Serrano's first touch is not great, so he can't shoot. He tries to lay it off, and the opportunity is lost.
Jeremy Kelly saved the day there. Inside of that, near disaster for Charleston Battery, as Colton Swan in another race against Days. Those two have already had a couple of battles against each other in this first half. Martinez, miscommunication there. Casado thought that Swan was going to be in that spot. He had already made a move. There's some of that chemistry that early in the season this team is still trying to find.
Yeah, Colton Swan was a surprise choice for me because he doesn't have the experience. Getting chemistry with players is easier when you have the experience of a Miguel Berry at 28, who's big. What is he, 6'3"? He's a great target man if you don't want to use him. Malik Foster perhaps up front. But they picked Colton Swan at 18 years to lead the line here against the best team, what has been the best team in the league for a long while now, and got some strong center backs.
Kelly looking for Swan again. Tosh got in the way. The legend Sean Tosh, all-time leader in minutes, all-time leader in appearances in USL Championship history.
So good luck Colton Swan at 18 coming up against that.
Casado. Napononu really came on strong last year in a breakout season for Ben Pierman a year ago. Casado for Swan. Make that Kelly. Jeremy Kelly on his right foot. Trying to send it wide for Martinez. And Lou City with the clearance. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. And Pierman talked about the first 15-20 minutes. How would you grade the first 16 and a half for Charleston so far, Gary?
Very good. They've achieved what they wanted to achieve. They've been able to defend. They've stopped Lou City creating any chances except the one that was nearly given away there by Parmov. So far it's good, but can you do that for 90 minutes against Lou City? That's the big question.
Hard foul. Casado. Zach Duncan, who is back fully healthy, only played in 4 games last year after a meniscus injury. Here's that tackle. I think Lou City fans hold their breath every time Zach Duncan takes a spill like that, given what he's been through.
Yeah, it was a very tough year for Zach Duncan. And just chatting to the coaching staff at Lou City, there was a lot of teary eyes when he eventually came back to full fitness, out for virtually the entire season. I think he played only 4 games last year. And they were just so happy for him that he's back and fit. So to your point, you just really don't want anything else to happen to him.
Jansen Wilson stands over this. Free kick opportunity for Lou City. Plays it in. And that's off target of everybody. Jake Morris was looking for a whistle in his favor. Didn't get one from our referee today, Elvis Osmanovic. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Pity about that free kick. We're just talking up Chris Donovan and how good he can be when you put a ball on his head, and that free kick just went over everyone and sails harmlessly out for a goal kick. A little bit of a wasted opportunity there by the boys in purple.
Ikaza went down, and Duncan called for the foul, and he can't believe it. Duncan letting Ikaza know how he feels. Ikaza wearing the captain's armband today for Charleston.
Hard to see if he actually stands on his leg or not, or whether he felt he won the ball cleanly. Fortunately, no damage done to Ikaza.
Good ball down that left side, kept in for the moment at least. Casadu! And Charleston Battery have struck first on the road. Hugo Farou saying that went over the line and was out. Charleston Battery celebrating. It catches everybody off guard. And the Battery get to play with the lead at Lynn Family Stadium here in the first half.
It's that old classic, you play to the whistle. That's what Lauren Casadu did. Ball gets kept. Remember, the whole ball has to cross the line here. So if you're not sure, you play on Kyle Adams and them not responding quickly. Casadu, nice little volley, by the way. There's still work to be done when this ball comes in here. And instead of appealing, they should have got nice and tight. They didn't. Casadu responds. That's a really, really good, he's going backwards as well. That's a really good volley going backwards into the far corner. And I'm pretty sure Simon Bird will have something to say at halftime about, guys, do the job, then complain. Don't be complaining and not picking up.
Casadu's first with Charleston Battery. This is his second stint with the club. He's got a history with Ben Pierman. Ben loves bringing in guys that he's familiar with, especially from that Memphis run. A handful of them here in Charleston. That goal for Charleston Battery puts them up 1-0, a situation they were not in last season. They fell down 4-0 before MD Myers made it 4-1, and that was it. So Ray Serrano gets a talking to. That goal, of course, brought to you by Fireball Whiskey. Comes in the 20th minute and makes it 1-0. How do Lou City respond? Took everybody by surprise. This Lou City team last year conceded the fewest goals in the entire league, just 20.
They've had 3 clean sheets in their 6 matches, so clearly they're a good defensive side. But now, if they were going to come at Charleston Battery in waves, you expect it to be even more so now. For the rest of this match, you think they're going to get that ball in that box and pummel them.
That one goes out and will be a goal kick to Charleston Battery. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. Gary mentioned 20 in a row unbeaten for Louisville City in the regular season, dating back to June of 2025. Half of those wins, half of those games, clean sheets, 10 of them.
That's very impressive, but sometimes you do concede, and then the question is, how do you respond to that? And in the past, Lou City have always been absolutely brilliant in piling on the pressure and getting back into the game. I'm pretty sure they're going to put Charleston under a fair amount of pressure here today.
They just do not play from behind very often. Zamudio, Duncan. Now Morris resets it for Days. We talk about the regular season prowess for Louisville City. They just won their 200th game in USL Championship, and it, keeps up with the theme of, it is an amazing accomplishment for the Louisville City club. Their regular season success has obviously been one of the best runs in the history of this league. Almost given away. Adams plays it back to Farou, but I think if you asked anybody in this organization, if you gave them some truth serum and you said, hey, if you finished 7th or 6th in the Eastern Conference, but you were playing for the trophy in the USL title game, I think that they would take that option over how things have transpired in the playoffs the last couple of years after their phenomenal regular seasons, back-to-back player sheets.
You're probably right, but with my English background, I believe the best team is the team that wins the league, not what happens afterwards. So it's very hard for me to get my head around Lou City being the best team by far and yet having no main silverware anyway. They've got the Players' Shield, but they don't get the big one. But anyway, that is the way the system is. So to your point, yeah, they probably would accept that.
Is Wilson onside? For now he is. Tries the cross. It's off of Suber and out for a Lou City corner kick. It's a Wi-Fi corner kick.
Jansen Wilson, rather, one of 6 players in this team who scored goals. So it's not like if you're Charleston, you think, well, we just mark these 2, we stop the goal scoring. Serrano scored, Donovan scored, Wilson himself, Jake Morris, Zach Duncan, Kyle Adams. Good luck trying to keep an eye on all of those goal scorers.
You just read off the entire roster and it's a threat. Davila stands next to Wilson. Short to Davila, the reigning player of the year, back for Wilson. Wilson tees it up, curls it, and it's wide. A couple of times, Wilson, you can see he's frustrated with himself. The free kick earlier, and from that area, he's tried to curl it towards the back post, but he's been well long twice. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
So looking at Samudio in goal, not sure if he's had a big save to make as yet, or any save to make. So in that sense, Charleston Battery haven't had to suffer. They've defended. They haven't got to the point of suffer and defend. Well, you bring up the word suffer, and that's the word that Ben Pierman used with us this week. He goes, we have to be willing to suffer. We have to be willing to withstand and absorb the pressure we know that we're going to get from Louisville City. But outside of the turnover from Palmov earlier, there really hasn't been anything, and they didn't even get a shot on goal off of that turnover. Far side, it's Perez, watched by Josu Landry. Flicked into the area, headed away. Still alive for Lou City. Duncan, edge of the 18. Duncan! That was going wide, but Zamudio made a play on it anyways. Again, just not good enough in the edge of the box, and it might still come for Lou City, of course. I mean, only 26 minutes into a game. But I think the suffering side of it is when you're throwing your body on the line. Often happens towards the end of a game, when you're just under so much pressure and you're tired already. That's when you suffer. You've still got to run. You've still got to close people down. You've still got to win headers. Right now, they're looking fresh, Charleston Battery, and even doing a little bit of almost a high press here. Four or so white shirts were in picture a moment ago. There we go, 5 of them now. So they're having their moments when they're being fairly positive. But once Lou City break through, then they drop into that low block as quickly as they can. Talk about not seeing very many chances for Lou City in the first 27 minutes. There really haven't been any for Charleston aside from the breakdown by Lou City on the ball they thought went out of bounds, and just so happens Charleston cashed in on it. Wilson lays it ahead for Morris. His cross is gotten to by Suber and put over the end line. It'll be a corner. Good defending by Suber, because Jake Morris has hit that really early, nice and early before defenders normally get set up. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to cause trouble, and Suber read it brilliantly at that near post area. Another 5-5 corner kick for Lou City. Wilson to take it. The delivery. They get another shot. No, it'll be a goal kick. You know, Gary, I look at Jansen Wilson and the stash there. Zach Duncan with the stash. The stash game is strong, too, for Lou City this season. Not just their record in all comps, 6-0-0. Can't watch the match? You can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. I believe Simon Bird made an appearance on USL All Access this past week with Mike and Devin. Well, he is the interim coach of the most successful team in recent times, so why shouldn't he be on? Absolutely right. Kelly, he's fouled. Toe stepped up. This will be a free kick from a good spot for Charleston Battery. Just tempted to put his foot in there, Tosh. Kelly causes a lot of problems. He's been really good the last couple of games. There hasn't been a lot of high points for Charleston Battery, but Kelly has been one of them, although he did get himself sent off in the last one, the Open Cup defeat to Charlotte Independence. But it was he who set up both the goals with great passes.
Kelly was brought in mid-season last year, played for Ben Pierman in Memphis. And a nice spell with Crawley Town, helped them gain promotion to League One. Almov stands over it, strikes, goes for goal, parried away by Farouk. Confident strike from the first-year pro out of Marshall, but Farouk turned it aside.
Duncan's going to have to be careful there. It's a few times now he's given away fouls. Referee might have a word. Here's the free kick. Hit well. The goalkeeper in the right position, able to get two hands for that. Not too much of a problem. Might have taken a slight deflection, in which case it would have been an even better save. But just back to Zach Duncan. It's now 2 or 3 fouls. Referee's probably adding them up in his head, and the next one, if he's not careful, he might get the yellow card. So he's got to maybe pass that tackling duty onto someone like Taylor Davila and let him do some of the hunting in midfield.
At this point in the game last year in this stadium, Charleston was already down 3-0 at the hands of Lou City. A half an hour into this one, they lead 1-0 on the goal 10 minutes ago by Kisedu. His first with Charleston in 2026. And there is that going over the touchline. So it is a Charleston throw, and you know that's going to stick in the craw of a lot of Lou City fans, and of course the Lou City bench after what led to Caicedo's goal in the 20th minute. Ball doesn't lie, I guess is what they would say in this spot, as that's out for a throw to Lou City.
Yeah, the crowd getting a bit stuck into the officials there. They're getting frustrated that they're 1-0 down to their arch rivals. To be fair, they haven't really threatened Charleston Battery that much. It's not the Lou City we've seen in previous weeks that have steamrolled some teams, but again, they could turn it on second. They are that good. They can have a good second half and absolutely destroy teams. So still a long way to go in this match.
2-1 win over Lexington, 4-1 at home over Miami, 4-2 at home over Rhode Island, 1-0 scrappy win on the road at Brooklyn to close out March. And of course, they also beat Lexington on the road in the Open Cup back on April 1st. That was their last match, and I think Lexington is just about tired of dealing with Lou City already this year. As a foul from behind on Kisedu, Duncan went down.
When that first Lexington match, if I remember clearly, they were 1-0 down at one stage, and they brought Muka Kale on, and he did a wonderful dribble in the box, got the equalizer, and they went on to win it. So I think if it remains this way second half, we're going to see Muka Kale try and do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, both his goals this season have come against Lexington, one in league play, one in the Open Cup. And not surprising considering the club he joined from, New Mexico. They've got a flair for the dramatic over the last couple of years. Back out for another Lou City throw. Simon Bird told us he really wanted a good start to get this crowd into it, and they have not gotten that. But you know, as you said, Gary, that could change on a dime. Morris. Serrano. Back heel, back for Morris. Serrano again. To his left. The cross. Landry gets away with it. Tosh. Days. The captain Adams.
It's so hard to break down a low block, and this is something that Danny Cruz, when he was still the head coach of Lou City, would say to us, is that that's what caught them in the playoffs. And this season they were trying to build a team that could break down a low block. And there's a number of different ways to do it. You can try and go wide, you can try and go through the middle. But back to Mukakale, the other way is to get on players who can dribble at the box and just take the ball in the box and say, right, try and tackle me. If you get it wrong, it's a penalty. And if you don't get it, if you don't stop me, I'm into goal. So I do think they have weapons off the bench, Lou City. And probably Simon Bird is happy they've got this sort of match, which will just test his team playing against teams that drop into a low block.
Davila. Watched by Palmov. He gets through that. Still with it. Shields off Ikaza. Perez. Now the cross. Headed away. Comes for Adams. Surveying his options. Adams. Now Morris. Ray Serrano. Adams again. Towards the back post. And that's out for a goal kick. Perez might have been whistled for a foul as well, as Landry a bit slow to get up.
There's a coming together of bodies. Perez coming slightly over the top of Husso Landry, but Landry also staying down in case there'd been a goal, then he could have claimed the foul. Have a look here. Perez comes in. Perez wins the header. There's a little bit of an elbow on the shoulder there of Husso Landry, but as a defender, if you know you've lost the battle in the air, then you stay down, because if that ball did end up in the back of the net, you could try and claim that it was a foul.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, and you can download it now. Apononu loses that battle to Donovan. Donovan for Serrano. The 17-year-old Days, just back from international duty. It's almost an embarrassment of riches for Lou City at the back when they're healthy. Great play by Apononu.
Yeah, you just wonder who would start if Josh Jones was fit.
Right.
Last season, he seemed to get the nod ahead of Sean Tosh. But Sean brings so much experience to the side as well. So always great if you're a coach and you have an embarrassment of riches. I'd rather that than not have the players.
No doubt. Casado's goal on the 20th. A disjointed play on a ball that Lou City thought had gone over the end line. Ruled that it stayed in. And Casado backing up on the volley with an excellent goal. Has Charleston ahead 1-0. In a very strong first half away performance in the rain against a team that they are 0-8-3 against in their last 11 in this stadium. Rain is coming down a little harder now. Ikaza. He's got 2 goals this season, had a brace against Birmingham. That was game 99 for him. Detroit in game number 100 did not end as great. Suber ends up right back with him. Good tackle by Duncan. But eventually is won by the Battery. Landry for Martinez. Skilled player. He's playing it right back today, but he has spent a lot of time as a forward, and he loves to get involved. Unfortunately for him, fizzled out. Morris with some incredible pace on that. It was more just like Davila got in the way of it than anything. Foul on Landry as Perez went to the ground. And you can really see this rain coming down hard as Landry will get booked. It's the first card of the match. And that yellow is presented by Alpha Energy Solutions.
He's been in a few bumps and bruises, and I think this is just one too many from the referee's point of view. Although, to be fair, when you see it that way, I think he wins it cleanly, to be honest. Have a look at it again as it comes there. Goes round, wins it. A, I don't think it's a foul, and B, I certainly don't think it's a yellow, but it might be a yellow for accumulation. And he's a tough physical player, so now he has to be super careful.
Farouk. Adams, the captain for Lou City. Final minutes here in the first half. Lou City have never begun a season with 5 straight wins. They've come close, but they haven't done it. Cleared away by Charleston. They started 4-1-0 after a 4-0-0 start in 2024. And another card coming. Martinez gets the card here as Morris went down.
Martinez upset he doesn't feel that he made contact, but now you've got both fullbacks on a yellow. And this is where Lou City can grind you down. Suddenly both those fullbacks have got to be careful with every single tackle they make so that they don't want to get a second yellow. I don't see much in that again. Let's have a look again. Oh, maybe there's a slight touch on the boot, but wow, that's a harsh one, and he doesn't feel it was warranted. But he's in the book, and that's it. Decision made.
So Martinez and Landry both playing with yellows in this first half, and a free kick opportunity for Lou City in a similar spot where Wilson's had a couple from. Wilson delivers. It's low, might have slipped. Kelly clears it. That's where you might see the conditions come into play a bit. Again, to say that 4-1-0 start after 4 straight wins in 2024. 2018, the other season, Lou City began with 4 consecutive wins. They began 4-0-1. So they're trying to do it for the first time in club history today, win their first 5 regular season matches. That cross deflected, kept alive on a hop towards Zamudio. And he picks it up in front of Ray Serrano. How difficult is it for a goalkeeper in conditions like this?
It can get very tricky with the ball skipping off the ground. You've got to be extra vigilant with your passing as well as your catching. I always say eye on the ball, but in particular in wet weather, you've got to watch that ball into your hands, because if you keep your hands too far apart, it goes straight through because of the wet conditions. So, yeah, a little bit tricky there today for Hugo Farouk and Luis Zamudio.
Swan might have been offside, but Farouk comes out to get it anyway. Do you remember the worst weather you played in? I'm sure there were plenty of instances in England.
In Manchester?
Yeah.
I played on frozen grounds where you can't wear a boot, you have to wear a trainer, what would you call it?
A shoe.
A shoe, yeah. A flat shoe. And it's rock solid. And the very first time I did it, I ran out, because I come from South Africa, I wasn't used to it. I ran out and I kicked the ball and I couldn't stop. But it was about 15, 20 yards later, I came to a stop in the middle of the pitch. So yeah, in England back in the day, there were some crazy conditions. And if you YouTube, horrific conditions at Premier League level, or what used to be called League One, then you will see muddy pitches that you can barely stand up in. But that was just the way it was back in the day.
I was thinking of maybe you had a doozy playing in the mud, but again, I'm sure you had plenty of those.
That was January, February, that was every week virtually.
I mean, imagine if you played in pouring rain in conditions like this at Lynn Family Stadium. That's like heaven for you, no?
I didn't see a green grass on the pitch after October. We started August. By October, there was no grassland. I'm serious. It was all brown and dead grass, and it was horrendous. There was no money spent on pitches back in the day.
You can really see the rain driving down.
But again, if you have this sort of weather and you're Lou City, then put stuff up in the air, test the goalkeeper, take shots from outside the box and skip it on the ground beforehand, because these are all testing conditions for any keeper.
5-5 corner kick. Wilson plays it in, punched away. Bodies strewn everywhere in front of Zamudio. A throw for Lou City.
Good punch from the goalkeeper, by the way. A lot of bodies around him, not easy, and he clears the danger.
Stoppage time is presented by the Louisville Mohammed Ali International Airport. Referees have added 1 minute of stoppage time in the first half. That deflected off of our goal scorer, Casadu. Out for a Lou City throw. Strong of a first half for Charleston Battery as Ben Pearman could have possibly drawn up, especially the changes to his starting 11. A lot of veterans available for selection off the bench today. This has been as great of a first half as he could have imagined on the road at Lynn Family Stadium, a place where his club has really struggled.
I absolutely agree with it. Would have been defend, suffer, as he says, and try and grab an opportunity. That exactly summarizes the first half for Charleston Battery. Now, the question is, of course, can they do it in the second?
Lou City, as we get the whistle for halftime, with a couple of unbeaten streaks on the line. Unbeaten in their last 26 regular season matches at home, going all the way back to June of 2024. And today, they find themselves trailing 1-0 at the half, thanks to Lauren Casadu's first with the Battery in 2026.
I'm sure Ben Pearman will say to them at the break here, guys, we've got a lot more work to do. They're going to come at you second half. And I'm looking forward to that second half. In these conditions, it's going to be really exciting. All sorts of crazy things could happen.
The weather, it's coming down in Louisville today. A great half for Charleston Battery. Can Lou City regroup at halftime, find the equalizer, and keep their unbeaten streak going, or will the Battery start a streak of their own?
When the Thompsons first bought their house, all they saw was their dream home. They didn't yet know that with a home equity line of credit from Commonwealth Credit Union, it would be their keys to epic cannonballs and the chance to see the world. As years went by, it allowed them to empower the next generation and make happily ever after come true. Which begs the question, what could your home be doing for you? Let's find out together. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Severe weather calls for preparation.
We've got you covered, Seymour.
Charge your devices. Head to your safe space. Don't lose your connection to the WDRB weather team.
In North Vernon, 24 minutes from now, we'll be watching our...
Stream us live on the WDRB Plus app and start with WDRB weather.
Artificial intelligence can show you almost anything in seconds, but have you ever stopped to think, where does it get its answers? AI doesn't have people speaking up at JCPS board meetings. It's not in front of the mayor at every press conference, and it sure doesn't know our community like we do. AI is a tool, not a witness. Before the algorithm learns it, we live it. Start with WDRB News at 5.
Start your day with Candace Clift on WDRB Mornings. Local news, weather, and traffic each weekday morning starting bright and early from 5 a.m. until 10.
America America drives Toyota.
The #1 selling retail brand for the past 14 years.
Leading the way, Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car.
Now it's 100% hybrid with more standard power, better handling, and available all-wheel drive.
This Camry XSE gets 47 mpg, and it comes with a 12.3-inch touchscreen.
And Camry's built right here in the USA.
Get a new 26 Camry with 4.99 APR financing, or lease this Camry for $289 a month.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Lynn Family Stadium. 1-0 Charleston Battery leads Louisville City at the half. Well, Sean Tosh is the all-time leader in appearances and minutes played, which we've spent a lot of time with him on the pitch. Let's spend some time with him off of it in the city.
So right now we're at Red Hog. It's on Frankfurt Avenue here. It's a place where I feel like a lot of people see, drive past, but not necessarily stop in. You don't realize that they have some really good food in here. They have a butcher shop as well. So I think I'm gonna eat when we're leaving. I'll probably pick up a steak or something to take home with me. So something to cook up later. That's the nice thing here is like, you can find something good and then you're like, it kind of inspires you to go cook something later as well. It's a cool place where I love being able to like see into the kitchen, getting to see like the experience. You get to see where the meats are coming from. You get to see where, like, be a part of the process. I feel like that's a really cool part of a lot of places in the city. I mean, it's something we talk about on the team is like the relationships really drive a lot of the things that we do on the field. And I feel like that is part of the community here where it's very heavily relationship driven. You know, you can create those relationships, become part of the community, and then when you do that, the community, you know, adopts you as its own and you just become, you know, a bigger part of it. That's something I try to remind myself is that, you know, who I'm playing for is more than myself. It's my family, it's my community, it's all the people who spend their hard-earned money to come out to the games and fill out Lynn Family Stadium. It really, it does make it more meaningful. Thank you.
Oh, that was timed perfectly.
This week on USL All Access, there's a new general leading the charge on the sideline for Louisville City. Interim head coach Simon Bird joins us to talk about how he plans to maintain consistency for Titletown. What went right for San Antonio FC? What went wrong for Charleston and Detroit? And who's got Cupset on their mind in the second round of Open Cup?
You'll see it SiriusXM FC or the USL YouTube page every Tuesday night.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
The header is down, it's in! Charleston take the lead and stop! Nice ball, Cindy! Doubles the Rowdies lead!
Toyota Tacoma has been the #1 selling truck in its class for the past 21 years. You want to know how they stay #1?
You give Tacoma a more advanced powertrain. This hybrid iForce Max delivers 326 horsepower.
Tacoma's off-road capabilities are better than ever. And you've got an available 14-inch touchscreen.
And Tacoma has the best resale in its class.
Get 4.99 APR financing on a 26 Tacoma or a $299 a month lease.
America drives Toyota.
Let's go places.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. Louisville City became the first club to win 200 regular season matches in the USL Championship with its 1-0 victory at Brooklyn FC. Louisville accomplishes that feat in 342 regular season matches. Round 2 of the U.S. Open Cup featured some great matchups between championship clubs. Rhode Island FC knocks off El Clamico rival Hartford 2-0 on a soggy night. Here are the clubs from USL that are headed to the third round. USL is very busy in the upcoming weeks on national television. Next Saturday, Sporting Jacks at Detroit City on 2DN, then a pair of matches on the CBS Sports Network. Saturday the 18th, a 3 o'clock start, Tampa Bay Rowdies at Charleston Battery. El Clamico returns on Saturday the 25th, this time in the Prince Hires USL Cup. That's a look at the headlines for this week. Let's get you back to your match for the second half.
Welcome back to Lynn Family Stadium. 1-0 to Charleston Battery at the half. Louisville's unbeaten streak at home of 26 games on the line in the second half as we take a look at our out-of-town scores. Josh Appel, Gary Bailey with you. Miami FC and Hartford Athletic. 11 minutes of added time in the first half. They are scoreless. They're also at the half in Rhode Island. 0-0 against Detroit City FC, the team that Charleston Battery lost to last in league play. Here's what else is going on around the league today. Switchbacks and Lexington and Loudoun United and Birmingham Legion. Both those games starting at 5 o'clock. Loudoun United, Birmingham, each searching for its first win in 2026. The defending champs are on the road at 7 o'clock to take on Indy 11. And then it's a Florida battle on Golazo Network, Sporting Jacks and the undefeated Tampa Bay Rowdies. Then 4 late-night games tonight. Any of these jump out at you, Gary?
Yeah, a couple of them do. El Paso up against Las Vegas. El Paso have had a really, really good start to the season. Monterey Bay need points desperately up against San Antonio. And Phoenix have also had a little bit of a slow start. It'll be a tough match for them at Sac Republic, and New Mexico will be chasing a quite informed Orange County side.
Orange County, a great start to their season. San Antonio as well. Back in just a moment to look back at the first half and get you ready for second half action from rainy Louisville. It's Charleston up at the half, 1-0.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This new Tundra is amazing. It's rugged and capable.
Designed, engineered, and built right here in the USA.
And Tundra is more powerful and more fuel efficient.
The iForce Max hybrid powertrain delivers 437 horsepower.
And with the multi-terrain select, it automatically adjusts the engine throttle and traction.
Now get $3,000 customer cash on a new Tundra, 2.99 financing plus 1,000 APR cash, or this $439 a month lease.
America drives Toyota. Let's go places.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's time to plan a family get-together between your family and the Corolla family. Toyota Corolla has set the standard for dependability and value for generations. That's why it's often passed down between generations. In fact, it's the most dependable in its class, built right here in the USA. And so is the versatile new Corolla Cross with plenty of cargo space. Now get 4.99 APR financing on a new Corolla, or a $209 a month lease, or lease this Corolla Cross for $259 a month. America drives Toyota. Let's go places.
Lou City faithful at Lynn Family Stadium grabbing a drink, trying to stay dry as they see their team down 1-0 at the half to Charleston Battery. Josh Appel, Gary Bailey. Gary, our first half highlights.
Well, there were a few of them, and Palmov here just nearly setting up Lou City for the opener. Ray Serrano doesn't control it well. He tries to pass it there. Jeremy Kelly doing really well there to get back in and intercept. But if Ray Serrano's first touch here is a little bit better, he could have had the shot himself. In the end, the opportunity gets lost.
Really weren't that many chances for Lou City on goal in the half. This was an incredible play and a controversial one that led to the first goal.
Jeremy Kelly doing so well to pull that ball back, and everyone stopped. Casado didn't. He goes back, volleys it in the back of the net. Now, I'm not convinced it goes over, but certainly as players, you can't stop. And one thing the goalkeeper has his hands up, but Carl Adams is caught in it as well. And you've got to get closer and just stop what's happening. Jake Morris as well getting involved there, watching the ball. So they got punished.
That was the first of the season for Casado. And then later on, great free kick attempt from Palmov and a good save from Farouk.
Yeah, Farouk in a good position, gets both hands on it. And the stats are not that impressive for Lou City. Only one shot on target compared to Charleston Battery's 2. So you think, well, Lou City would have dominated. They haven't dominated the way they have in other games. Yes, 3 corners to 0, but their expected goals is in fact lower than that of Charleston Battery, which is a real surprise, 0.28 to 0.46. So not the best of first half by the boys in purple.
But if you're Charleston Battery, a great first half performance. Can they double it up and make it a full 90 and put a halt to this 26-match unbeaten regular season home streak for Lou City, as the boys in purple make one substitution at the half. Mogel comes in for Sean Tosh. Interesting change for Simon Bird.
They have actually played Carlos Mogel as a centre-back on a few occasions, especially in the Open Cup. And their thinking is that he can play the ball out the back and create opportunities. So let's see if he can do that.
They're still without Amadou Dia, who's working his way back from a preseason hamstring injury. Underway in the second half, so Mogel for Tosh, the only change to begin the second half for Lou City. And remember, Amadou Dia, as we said, still working his way back from a preseason hamstring injury. Josh Jones still working his way back from his injury. And so when you look at the options, Mogel makes sense there at center back.
Yeah, as I say, I think there's a playing out the back aspect to it as well. It's something Simon Bird mentioned to us on a call a few weeks back as the reason why they were playing Carlos as a center back.
Foul here that puts a stop to a potential chance in transition for Lou City. What do you think the message from Simon Bird was to his team at the half? Because we've seen Lou City fire on all cylinders before, and that was not what we saw in the first half.
Would have been a very important halftime chat for Simon Bird, because Danny Cruz is the sort of coach who would have fired them up, and they would have been, you know, shouting. And I wonder if he's managed to rile them up as well and get them into the right spirit here to bounce back in this match. Because you're 100% right, there wasn't a good performance by them, by their very high standards.
Ben Pierman, though, you would imagine, is the opposite. Very pleased, especially with how the last couple of matches have gone. The loss in the Open Cup to Charlotte Independence, the 1-0 defeat on the road at Detroit City. And they're in a really tough stretch right now. A stretch of 6 out of 7 away from home. Their next home match is April 18th. It's their only home game between March 28th and April 25th. And that obviously includes Open Cup as well as league matches. Casado from Kelly in the 20th minute. The only goal today. Lou City have never lost to Charleston in the last 11 meetings. 8-0-3 at Lynn Family Stadium. They've won 3 in a row in this series overall. Keep saying it, 26 in a row unbeaten here at Lynn Family Stadium in the regular season and USL Championship. And overall, 20 straight unbeaten. Days, the 17-year-old, moves it for Wilson. He curls it in, back post, nobody home. And cleared away by Martinez. If you're wondering, the USL Championship record for consecutive games unbeaten at home is 33, set by the Richmond Kickers from 2012 through 2014. Perez. Now Days. Days trying to go wide. Low cross, earns the corner off of Apononu.
This is why they think so highly of Brandon Days. He's so quick. He's a good central defender, a good head of the ball. But look at his skills going forward there. Just flew past Husso Landry down that fullback position.
And he's got the football IQ as well. That led to this 5-5 corner kick. Both of his parents, former or current collegiate head coaches. Wilson fires it towards goal. Takes a deflection away. Comes for Serrano. Serrano, a laser. Sent towards Zamudio, but no pace on it. He's able to field it on a hop.
And just looking at Ray Serrano there with that ball coming in. He's one of, I think, a couple of players who probably has got 10, 15 minutes to impress Simon Bird before the coach will have to make changes. Muka Kale, for me, is a certainty to come on with his dribbling skills. Maybe Tola Shawamni's been scoring a few goals. Babacar Niang. But he's got to do something, Simon, if this remains like it is after the 60-minute mark. And that's certainly what Danny Cruz would have done.
Over the top. This is onside. Those slippery conditions cost Casado. He's able to recover. Adams watching him. Now it's Kelly. Landry. Deliberate.
Just back to that point about Simon Bird, he's now going to make the tough decisions. We were chatting to him, and he was saying it's very similar to being the assistant coach, but you've also got to hand down the decisions when you're not playing players, and in this case, when he's going to have to pull somebody off. And that's what makes moving from assistant coach to coach that much more difficult.
Apononu. Now Suber. Davila able to get rid of it. Well, that's part of the change from going to assistant to head coach, as you mentioned. You know, a lot of the times you get to play the good cop as the assistant. You don't have to make those tough decisions, deliver those tough messages. You can be the guy that players come to when they're frustrated and venting. But now you're the one that they're venting about because you were the head man, the top of the table.
And you have to make those decisions. I mean, right now, this is not Lou City the way we know them. And I think most coaches would probably go to about the 60th minute and say, okay, fine. And make 3 changes possibly. Just give fresh legs, fresh ideas. It's not that the players are bringing off a bad players. It's just that they need to freshen things up. And there's certain players that are replaceable that you pull off and you bring others on and you say, right, you have a go. Let's see what you can do instead.
Something potentially brewing here for Lou City as they search for the equalizer. Early second half, it's Perez cutting to his left. Now Days, wide again for Perez. To his right, sliding down, it comes for Duncan, and he strikes it on the volley, well wide and into the third row. This portion of today's match is brought to you by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers.
Perez doing really well down this right-hand side. Gets the cross in, comes out to Duncan, and he just slashes at this, doesn't get over the ball. Again, your number one thing there is to get over the ball and keep it down, and then you can apply the power. Unfortunately for the Australian international, goes straight over the sort of seats and into the stands somewhere.
Zamudio has only been tested one time with a shot on target. He did make the save. Wilson. On that left side now, it's Morris weaving through. Morris off of Ikaza and out for another Wi-Fi corner. By the way, the substitution of Mogel was brought to you by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery.
Fans trying to pump up the players there. This pressure starting to build. We talk about Ben Pearman saying to his players, you need to suffer and defend. This is where it starts to get really tough. Pressure builds, legs are getting tired, bodies have to be put on the line.
Jansen Wilson being told to reposition the ball. You know that Lou City's going to go with a push at some point, especially at home. Just a matter, as you said, of being able to withstand it. Wilson, the header from Days, goes high and once again into the seats.
Does well, Brandon Days, to win the header, and then you've still got to get it on target though. Either flick it on for somebody else to get it. Referee saying to Zamudio, none of those time-wasting tactics. Get on with the game. But if you're Brandon Days, you've got it well. He's got a lovely leap. Get your head to it. Either aim for the target itself, the goal, or just flick it on to somebody else who might be able to finish it off. Easier said than done, of course, because you're about to get your head smashed by somebody else who's also coming in to head it. So there's a lot of other stuff going on in those moments, but that is ultimately what the good players are able to do, and Brandon Days is certainly well on his way to being a good player.
They were so excited to get him back from international duty. It finally reached halftime after 11 minutes of stoppage in Miami. Wow. 0-0 there, 0-0 in Rhode Island as well. 1-0 here to Charleston. Goal in the 20th minute by Casadu. First meeting in 2026 between the two winningest teams in USL Championship since 2023. That ball over the touchline and out for a throw. Production for Louisville City as they search for the equalizer can come from anywhere. They've got 11 goals this season, scored by 8 different players. A handful of guys with assists, multiple players with 2 assists, the only team in the league that can say that. Number 1 in goal scoring so far through 4 matches in league play, trying to move to 5 wins in a row for the first time in club history. The record, by the way, for consecutive wins to open up a season. 6. And that was set in 2011 by Richmond Kickers and equaled in 2012 by the Rochester Rhinos.
There's some subs for Charleston Battery. I'm just wondering if Colton Swan has done enough up front. He really is on his own there, and you need someone big to hold up the play, especially now when you come into this final third of the match. You want someone big who can hold the ball up and just take the pressure off the Charleston Battery defense.
A tough matchup for the 18-year-old when we talk about the names and the experience and the quality of the back line of Lou City. As Wilson All right, so a couple of substitutions, as Gary mentioned, for Charleston. These are brought to you by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. It is Miguel Berry, MLS champion with LA Galaxy in 2024, first season with Charleston. He enters along with Nathan Messer, who comes off the bench for the first time in league play this season. He has impressed in his short time to begin his Charleston Battery career, was excellent for Portland Hearts of Pine in League One last season. And he enters for Josu Landry. Swan exits as well for Miguel Berry.
And that gets a yellow card off the pitch as well, Josu Landry. There's always that concern that being a very physical player, he could lunge in and get a second yellow. So it's now just Douglas Martinez on the yellow for Charleston Battery.
Messer leads this Charleston team in chances created. Wilson, though, trying to create something for Lou City and get this game equal. Rain coming down harder again. Martinez steps in front of that, and here comes Charleston Battery. Ahead for Berry, races on with Adams, and Adams gets there first.
That's a good tackle from Kyle Adams, but this is why you have someone like Miguel Berry at 6'3" or thereabouts, big and strong. So when the ball does come to him, he can hold it up, and he causes problems for defenders who have to come in and tackle and give away a throw-in, as happened in that situation.
Messer. Who converted to a left back with Portland. Was a winger before that and has really taken to the position change. And I think, Gary, if you are Charleston, you have this 1-0 lead approaching the 1 hour mark in a place where you've struggled mightily. 0-8-3 over the last 11 meetings. Haven't beat Lou City in general since April of 2024. This hard rain coming down. You kind of have to like where you're at if you're Ben Pierman.
You do, oh, absolutely. But there's a third of the match still to go, and it could all change very quickly. And it's an unusual position for Battery, because you look at their previous matches. So they were 2-0 down away to Charlotte, they had to fight back. 1-0 they lost to Detroit. They were 2-0 down to Birmingham and had to fight back. Here they're ahead.
It's a great step up by Days. Charleston stopped for a moment, ball over the top, looking for Perez, but it's too far out of his reach. Charleston, I think, wanted a foul. That sprung that rush by Lou City. And as you can see, it's coming down about as hard as it has all afternoon at Lynn Family Stadium. So the conditions not getting any better. Kelly's been really strong today. Has the assist on the goal in the 20th minute. That ball won. Wilson for Donovan. Graham Smith watches him. Donovan spins back to his right. And taken off the ball by Messer, out for a throw.
Good hold-up play by Chris Donovan there. Really good.
Look at Ikaza, Donovan going at it.
He had 3 players around him there, but I think also getting a bit testy now. Lou City players frustrated. Just mentioning a moment ago, Charleston Battery have been chasing games. Now they're in a different position. Now they're ahead. They're having to defend, and they're doing it really well.
Again, in 2023, these two teams matched up in the conference final, which was won by Charleston. And for all the regular season success, we talked about it in the first half, but Lou City haven't played for the USL Championship title in the final since 2022. They haven't won the league since they went back-to-back in 17 and 18.
Still just a 1 shot on target for Louisville as well, which surprises me. They're very good at getting crosses in, but they also test you with shots. And we've seen some lovely strikes from Zach Duncan, Taylor Davila from outside the box, Ray Serrano. Just a 1 here today in 61 minutes of play. Not to the normal Lou City standards.
Do you chalk that up to the conditions? Do you chalk that up to what Charleston Battery are doing? Is it a little bit of both?
It can be both of those, but I think on top of that, it's just Lou City have not performed the way you expect them to. Now, of course, not every good team is going to put in a great performance every week, but it's just not like Lou City yet. But they just have this magical quality, Lou City, to suddenly come good. And it can be last 10 minutes, they can go from 1-0 down to 3-1 up. So not writing them off at all, just waiting for that spark to happen when it really kicks off for the boys in purple.
Great ball for Kelly. He has some space. Plays it out to the right. Kisedu, he has the goal. He holds it up for a little. And that deflects over the end line and out for a corner for Charleston through the driving rain.
Again, we mentioned the conditions, how difficult it is for the keeper. There's no reason why you shouldn't just put this corner close to Hugo Farou. Difficult for him to catch it in a slippery ball. So he's going to have to punch it. You've got bodies on the edge of the box. You've got someone big like Miguel Barry who makes it difficult for a keeper to win the ball cleanly. So all things that are in Charleston Battery's favor in this set piece.
Apanodu getting a talking to as he jockeys for position with Zach Duncan. Big moment, big opportunity for Charleston on the corner. Headed away by Adams, but not out of harm's way just yet. Ikaza flips it back towards the back post. Played in front. There's two for Charleston. Kirill Palmov makes it 2-0 to the Battery. It's the first in USL Championship for the Russian. And it's a massive one in the second half.
Fantastic ball set up there by Miguel Barry at the far post with his header. We were just saying in these conditions, get the ball in the danger area. But as it gets recycled back in here to the far post from Ikaza, look at Barry here. He goes to the far post, gets the header back in, and then just fortuitously, and maybe he was aiming for him even, Palmov then side foots it into the back of the net. But that header there, so useful and so important. In fact, it might even have been Apanodu who got the header and not Miguel Barry, but a good header back, and that's the key to that moment there. And a good finish there by Kirill Palmov. Wow, what a shock this is. 2-0 down. Who would have seen this coming?
Now Lou City's home unbeaten streak and overall unbeaten streak in some jeopardy with 25 minutes to go. Kisedu and Palmov have Charleston Battery up 2-0 at Lynn Family Stadium. Uncharted territory in the regular season for Lou City. Three substitutions while all that was going on for Lou City. As Days plays it wide for Perez. Perez hesitates. Messer played it well. And then it's cleared away by Charleston. So Niang comes in. Davila comes in. Evan, Taylor's brother. And Tola Shoanmi also into the match. Jansen Wilson, Ray Serrano, and Zach Duncan come out. Donovan back for Niang. Wide from Morris. He strikes. It's blocked. And now Barry, full head of steam the other way. MLS champion with LA Galaxy in 2024. Kisedu. Kelly for Messer. Clips it in, all the way across goal, nobody home. Sent back into the area. Barry tried the bicycle kick, nearly converted. Palmov flicks it back towards goal. Kasedu chests it down, but ends up with Niang. Niang is taken down, and that's a foul.
Again, good pressure here from Charleston Battery. This is the overhead kick that the big man Miguel Barry tried. And even if he'd have got it, it might have been blown up for dangerous play in Kyle Adams' face. But they have put pressure on here, Charleston Battery. Maybe they're just having a little breather now. And they've got themselves in a great position by playing this fairly defensive, low block game. But they have pushed forward quite a bit as well. They haven't just sat back the whole time. And they are asking Lou City how to solve it. And the one player I thought we'd see, we haven't got. And that's Mukakale, because he has this ability to run and attack. And I'm really hoping that we'll see him soon, because there was so much said about him when he first joined about how excited they were that he could bring that to the party. And today, with the slippery conditions and his ball skills, could be the ideal person to bring on here to turn things around for Lou City.
Injury here for Charleston Battery, and it looks like they'll have to make a change because of it. That's Douglas Martinez. And Gary, you can really see the rain come down.
You're getting drenched out there, no question about that. And the ball moves differently. There's no, you know that it's going to skid off the ground more and more as the game goes on. But the players are used to that. They play in wet conditions often enough. It's nothing they're not used to. It's just a little bit wetter than normal.
These substitutions brought to you by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. The Kentucky Lottery, Malik Foster, Langston Blackstock come in. Foster in for Laurent Kasedu. As of right now, he is the goal that serves as the go-ahead. Back in the 20th minute. Controversial play, but he took advantage of it. And a really skillful goal back in the 20th. Just a dreary day in all sense of the word for Lou City. The weather, the performance, and the score.
Well, that's football. I mean, you can't be good every game. They've won 6 out of 6. You know, there was going to come a day, Simon Bird knew it, that the things weren't going to work out.
It's a good ball in, punched away by Zamudio. Kelly calmly able to clear it away. Still 20 minutes to go. Crazier things have happened, especially with this Lou City team.
Absolutely. And the first 70, they'll talk about it and say it wasn't our normal high standard. But again, good teams find a way to get back into games, and that's a question that is here on Lou City's head. Can they do it this time around against the Charleston Battery side, who not giving them much space to play in?
Davila throws in. And one of the areas where they missed Josh Jones, Lou City, those long throws. They scored 9 off of those last year. The combo play nearly worked well for Lou City. Instead, it's cleared away, dealt with well by Charleston. Hey, Louisville, the 2026 USL Championship season, of course, is underway. Be sure to head to Lynn Family Stadium to watch the most storied club in league history take the pitch by purchasing tickets. Tickets are available at loucity.com/tickets. These are the 2 winningest clubs in USL Championship. Louisville City became the first club ever to 200 regular season wins. Davila wide for Morris. Now Niang, who scored in the Open Cup. It's deflected away. And a foul on Perez.
I'm trying to go back to the stats to maybe give some explanation for. You can see how frustrated Simon Bird is, because he knows instinctively that they're not creating chances. Their XG has never been below 1.3 this entire season. 6 matches, never been below 1.3. And yet here it is at 0.72 at home at Lynn Family Stadium. They haven't created chances. Number of shots on target, 1. It's 3 for Charleston Battery, just 1. Again, Those are not numbers that they're used to. They're used to numbers of 5s and 10s of shots on target. Touches in the opposition box, only 13. Charleston Battery's only 8, but then they haven't pushed forward as much. But 13 is still low for Lou City. So all the data seems to suggest that they haven't got their attacking game going, which to some extent could be credit to Charleston Battery and the defensive work they've been doing.
You know, we know that Lou City have a ton of depth, but what do you make of Serrano, Wilson, Duncan, all being subbed out here at a time when they need goals? Not that Niang doesn't have scoring touch or Shawumi doesn't have scoring touch.
Sometimes it's also just fresh legs on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, they've been playing cup matches. They get tired, and they maybe just think, you know what, let's just, you know, give Zach Duncan a rest. Ray Serrano hasn't been quite the spectacular form that he showed towards the end of last season, scoring a ton of goals there, and he struggled as well. So, you know, as a coach, you just try different things, see if something works. Again, I would still like to see Mukakale come on and give us a little cameo of his running skills.
Shawumi into the corner. Apononu off of him, out for a Wi-Fi corner kick. Kasadu in the 20th, Palmov in the 65th for Charleston.
Just looking at some of the XGs from previous matches, 2.65 against Rhode Island, and we're sitting here at 0.7, 2/3 of the way through the match.
The last 2 home games, they've scored 4 each against Miami and against Rhode Island. Corner driven in through the rain. Skips around, cleared off the line somehow by Zamudio. Remember that save. And now here come Charleston. Kelly has an assist today. He slows it down, plays it through all the way to Farouk.
Wow, what a chance. I think it was Taylor Davila. The ball came through everyone near the near post from the corner, and he had a quick stab at that. And you're right, Zamudio, fantastic reflexes to keep that one out.
One more look. Presented by West Banco.
It's Davila who takes it. So it actually was Donovan who gets the touch. Davila with the corner, Donovan with the touch there. He plays it onto his knee, and that slows the ball down and allows Zamudio to make the save.
You think back to the season opener last year in Charleston when these two teams matched up. It was a 2-1 win for Lou City. Zamudio on the game winner from Adrian Perez from distance gave up a goal that took a hop, and one that Zamudio, if he saw a shot like that now, probably makes the save on, but certainly one that shouldn't have gotten by him. And there in this spot on the road in this environment, able to clear that off the line and keep his team up 2-0.
You have to look at Chris Donovan and say, when a ball falls to a natural striker like that, you've got to hit the back of the net. It's what you're there for. He'll know it as much as anybody else. Then you're back in the match at 2-1. It's a whole different story.
15 minutes to go.
Yeah, but there, 6 yards out, it comes to him. He hits it. He almost hits it from off his, hits it with his right foot onto his left knee, and then from there, it goes to Zamudio. Not that Zamudio didn't make a good save, he did, but had he have connected that right, no keeper saving that.
Fans, it's time to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Vision Man of the Match. The poll will be open for the next 10 minutes. You can vote now on the Lou City app. Collision on that far side, no foul. Osmanovic just says they slipped. And Kelly, this is offside. Just a touch for Malik Foster.
Kick the ball away, picks up a yellow card.
Yeah. All right, welcome to the match, Malik Foster.
And he's giving the referee some verbals, which is never clever. You get a second yellow. I always say, especially towards the end of the match, referees know that it could be a time-wasting ploy. So when the whistle's gone, just leave the ball alone. If it's not your ball, just leave it.
Perez around Messer. Apononu comes over with support. Foul given, free kick coming for Lou City.
Apononu just trying to cover Messer there, and Mesner rather, and it's a foul, but it's well played. It just waits for the contact here. doesn't he? And as he gets it down, he goes absolutely brilliant. Because now it's a dangerous position again.
Davila, last year's Player of the Year. Scored against Charleston in the second meeting last season. Big moment for Lou City to climb back in the match. And now some talking to before they're ready to play. Back post. That's off of Zamudio. He had to make a save. I think Davila went for goal there and nearly picked that upper left 90.
I'm not sure if he meant it, but you're right. It was going into that top corner. Probably trying to find Kyle Adams or someone at the far post who just slightly overcooks it. Goalkeeper had to make the save.
So a Wi-Fi corner kick. They nearly scored on the last one. Looks like Mogel to take this. In swinger, back post. Yang nearly got there, but it's out for a goal kick.
Inches for Niang. He does, it just skims off the top of his head. He's going backwards, very difficult to jump up when you're going backwards, but so close to getting that header in at the far post.
Congratulations to the winner of today's 50-50 raffle, Eddie Miller. You're going home with $645. Thanks for your support of the Lou City and Racing Foundation.
This could be a performance from Charleston that really kickstart their season if they can hang on. You know, we talk about, you know, them struggling, and they have been over the last two. Get to it in a moment. Here's Perez. Davila. For his brother. Now Adams. Slipped as he delivered that in. And out for a goal kick. We talk like the sky is falling for Charleston Battery. They got 2 wins in 3 matches in league play. So while it hasn't looked the greatest at times, still scored multiple goals in each game, aside from Detroit City. Another day today where they've done that as well, and they're about 10 minutes away from ending the league's, couple of the league's longest streaks as Wilmer Cabrera replaces Jeremy Kelly, who had a fantastic performance for Ben Pierman's side.
What Charleston Battery haven't been able to do this season in their 5 matches, 3 in the league, 2 in the cup, is keep a clean sheet. If you can come here to Lynn Family Stadium, keep a clean sheet, win 2-0, I think Ben Pierman's going away thinking, okay, they're on the right track now. Now we can seriously start looking at a top 4 playoff position or even higher. Before the match, coming into the match though, there were some serious question marks about this team, but they have answered them all absolutely brilliantly.
Last time this Lou City side lost by multiple goals to a USL Championship team, Rhode Island in the 2024 playoffs.
Wow, that's going back a while.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't lost by multiple goals yet. There's still 10 minutes.
Of course, but got to start thinking about it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
They were shut out at home in the Open Cup last year against Minnesota United. And of course, 1-0 to Detroit in the playoffs in the first round. But you've got to go back a while in USL Championship regular season play in a loss, of course, where Lou City have been held scoreless. And here are the streaks at stake for the boys in purple. 26-game home unbeaten regular season streak dating back to June of 2024. League record's 33. As Perez clips it in, Apononu, athletic, Messer clears. 20 in a row unbeaten overall in the regular season, dating back to June of 2025. And of course, their winning streak of 4 in a row is on the line today. They've never started a season with 5 consecutive wins in league play.
Can you add the 11 unbeaten against Charleston to that?
Absolutely. 11 unbeaten against Charleston at Lynn Family Stadium, 8-0-3. They've won 3 in a row in this series.
I think the word momentous
Yeah.
might probably fit the occasion, because to be honest, coming here, I thought Charleston Battery would do well to get a 0-0, maybe a 1-0 loss. That was where my mind was at against Lou City in the form they've been in. But to come here and potentially win 2-0, and I think Ben Pearman, he asked for the suffering, he asked for the defending, and I don't think he could have asked for much better, to be honest. They have been, up until this point in the game, absolutely top class of Charleston Battery.
Sam Gleedle going to enter for Louisville City.
Blue City team substitution, entering the match, number 23, Sam Gleedle.
Last win for Charleston over Louisville, April 9th, 2024. Sam Gleedle comes on as a late sub, fresh legs.
Still just a bit bemused that Muka Kale is on the bench and hasn't come on at all. I would have thought that would have been, again, I've said it a few times, an opportunity for him to run at the defense and see what happens.
You know, we ask coaches every time we talk, all right, if you're going to win this match, what are the keys in order for that to happen? And I'm looking at what Ben Pearman told us. And yes, he said we've got to be able to suffer. We've got to be able to withstand pressure. But it's almost like the game that he was expecting to see is not the one we've gotten here today. They haven't spent a whole lot of time defending in their final third. There have been a couple more chances in the second half for Louisville City off set pieces.
If you look at Zamudio, 2 saves in the second half. First half he hadn't hardly anything to do. 2 decent saves second half, and that's about it. Normally goalkeepers have to make 4 or 5 or 6 saves to survive here at Lynn Family Stadium.
6 minutes plus stoppage, still plenty of time though for this Lou City side as they earn another Wi-Fi corner.
Tyler Shawamni, big unit up front there. Maybe he at a set piece. Got Chris Donovan as well. Maybe give this fan something extra to shout about if they can get some decent service into the big guys.
Corner sent in. Into the mixer. Cabrera. He was fouled by Morris.
It's a bit soft from the referee. You know the player's going to go down looking for the free kick. He didn't think it was a good one, so he got straight back up. Frustrating for Jake Morris.
Think about where these two teams were when they met in this stadium last August. Neck and neck for the Players' Shield. Louisville City ran Charleston off the pitch 4-0 at halftime, 4-1 final. And Lou City pulled away from Charleston in the standings in the second half of the season. And now they meet again today, and it's Charleston who have really been in control from the start. Morris. Evan Davila for Taylor. Wide for Gleedle. Well defended by Apononu. He's been strong today as well. Taylor Davila spins back to his left, clips it in towards the back post. Donovan rising, but it's over his head and out for a goal kick.
You know, sometimes it's just one of those days. They've tried hard, Lou City. I don't think Simon Berg can say to them, you haven't put the effort in. Yes, there's been hardly any shots on target, but maybe it's because Charleston Battery haven't let them shoot. They've closed them down so quickly. But sometimes, you know, in professional football, it's even the top sides will have their days when things go a little bit of clever time wasting there from Zamudio.
You mentioned that the lack of opportunities for Louisville City. You've got to credit Graham Smith, Joey Apononu, what they've done as the center backs, but we haven't really talked about Sean Suber much. He's playing out of position as a midfielder. He's dropped back a little bit deeper as this game has gone on, so really you're playing with another center back there and one of the best in the league, a Defender of the Year finalist last season when he was with Pittsburgh in their championship run. you've just got to tip your cap to the work that they've put in today.
And the fact that Apononu got the assist there for the second goal, the header back.
You think about both assists that led to the goals. Kelly keeping the ball in, flipping it back towards Kasedu.
Yep.
And then on a ball that looked like it was heading out again, Apononu, an athletic header to get it back into the mixer and allowed Kirill Palmov to slot home his first goal in USL Championship in his rookie season out of Marshall.
This is a 5-5 corner kick.
Another Wi-Fi corner, header at the back, sent away by Suber. Oh, Zamudio again! And that header goes wide. Luis Zamudio, highlight reel after highlight reel save. That one his best.
Well, this is Chris Donovan who gets the header when it comes back in, and I'm thinking that's going in the back of the net. He's done so well to aim in that far corner. Have a look when it comes in here. That's the good header. There's the Chris Donovan header. And Zamudio not only saves it, he pushes it past Babacar Niang there, who was waiting for any drop downs. He didn't just palm it out, he palmed it away from danger as well. That is a fantastic save. Now, again, to be fair to Lou City, that goes in the previous one that Donovan has, and suddenly it's 2-2. So, you know, goalkeeper having a great day. Sometimes you just, if you're the opposition, you just can't prepare for that.
Showing me, heavy touch, taken off his foot. Miller chases it down. Gleedle. Cabrera, a good tackle. Barry in support. Barry goes down. But at the same time, Gary, I would argue maybe too little too late from Lou City as well.
It'll be a good lesson for them, and something that I'm sure Simon Bird will use to say when we get to the playoffs. When we get to the playoffs, then, you know, these are the problems we're going to have. We have to find ways to get around this. It's not acceptable, and they'll do some work and they'll think it through. And you know, you have to assume in the playoffs we're going to be unlucky. Therefore, how else do we break through? I think that's the big challenge for teams like Lou City.
This is a 5-5 corner kick.
Wi-Fi corner, sent in, punched away. Foster went down. That's a foul. Gleedle committed it. And now we're left to stoppage time, which is brought to you by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. And the yellow given, I believe, to Zamudio. 4 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half. Can Lou City pull off the miracle, or will Charleston Battery win for the first time in 12 tries? And now Graham Smith getting into it with the referee, Elvis Osmanovic. Whistle and a foul given. I think both teams now frustrated with Osmanovic.
Miguel Berry saying it was a clear foul. Kyle Adams saying it wasn't. And this is why you put pressure on referees, because you hope that by doing that they give you the next decision. So big arguments from Charleston Battery. Next decision comes up, they get it, and Kyle Adams is not happy now. You can understand why. I mean, there's a lot of effort being put in, a lot of frustration from Lou City, and from Charleston Battery's point of view, they're so close to historic win. They don't want to let that go or slip. They want to keep the clean sheet so both sets of players with so much on the line here, and you know, obviously temper's getting a little frayed.
This win will certainly reverberate around USL Championship if Charleston do indeed hang on. Foster. Kept in along that touchline by Charleston. Suber flips it back. Race to the corner. Adams gets there first. Farouk. Davila. Good ball for Gleedle. Gleedle That's off of Messer, and another Wi-Fi corner with about 2 minutes to go.
By the way, Douglas passed there. He's under so much pressure. Got two players on him. Lifts his head, puts that ball through for Gleedle, who tried to play it first time, got it blocked. But Douglas' quality in the middle of the pitch is exceptional.
Delivered towards the back post. Whistle came before. Charleston bodies lying everywhere. Foul against Lou City. And that might have been the last gasp as Graham Smith is slow to get up. Shawunmi.
Graham Smith just, you know, milking it, saying I got shoved in the back. Let's have a look and see if there was anything. Nah, there's nothing. I mean, he's got his hand on him. It probably is a foul, but I don't know about the sore back. These are the things you do. If you're a professional, you've got to, you know, find every trick in the book to slow it down if you're Charleston Battery, and conversely, if you're Lou City, you've got to speed it along and try and get shots on target.
Foul here on Charleston. Throw in by Lou City. Days towards goal. Headed away by Smith. Messer flicks it in the air. Comes down for Adams. Barry battling there. Adams wins it again. Davila. Lou City could really just never get it going today.
They haven't been allowed to get it going, which is where you have to give massive credit to Charleston Battery.
Miguel has to retreat for this. Elvis Osmanovic looks at his watch, blows his whistle. Full time at Lynn Family Stadium. For the first time, Charleston Battery have won at Louisville. It's a 2-0 final, and it's Ben Pierman's 100th victory as a head coach in USL Championship, and it couldn't have come with a better performance from his side. 2-0 the final. Lou City's 26-match unbeaten streak at home is over. Their 20-match unbeaten streak overall is over as well. And these two rivals who have positioned themselves as the class of USL Championship over the last handful of years. Another installment in this storied rivalry, and it goes to Charleston, and a happy day for that man right there, Ben Pierman.
Of his 100 wins, this has got to be right up there with the best of them. Came into this match with question marks, 2 defeats back-to-back. Performance at Detroit City that he said was terrible. They didn't defend, they didn't want it enough. Same with the loss at Charlotte Independence in the Cup. So they had so much to prove, but Zamudio in goals there has made 2 or 3 absolutely vital saves. His comfort punches, he's dealt with the high balls. He has withstood the pressure, and they have just defended like superstars here. So this is a new Charleston Battery. Maybe they're going to be on the way up and back in those top 2 or 3 positions where they have been for the last few seasons.
Charleston's demise, maybe not here so quickly. They're 3-1 on the season. Lou City drops to 4-1. We'll wrap things up after this.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
America drives Toyota.
The #1 selling retail brand for the past 14 years.
Leading the way, Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car.
Now it's 100% hybrid with more standard power, better handling, and available all-wheel drive.
This Camry XSE gets 47 mpg, and it comes with a 12.3-inch touchscreen.
And Camry's built right here in the USA.
Get a new 26 Camry with 4.99 APR financing, or lease this Camry for $289 a month.
Toyota, let's go places.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you, satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
100 career wins for that man right there, Ben Pierman. The second youngest and the second quickest to reach that mark. It's a clean sheet win. Charge back in the second half. Here are the full-time stats. Blue City really got it going late. A big push, 11 shot attempts, just 3 made it on target. Possession was about 60-40, but after Charleston went up by that second goal, they sat back a little bit more. A perfect road performance from Ben Pierman at Charleston.
Yeah, and if you add extra XG there, expected goals, 1.5 for Lou City and just 0.57 for Charleston Battery. But the quality, they took their chances, Charleston. Lou City, they didn't. And it's unlike them. They put a lot of pressure on, a lot of set pieces, hard work for Luis Samudio. But in the end, the quality came from Charleston Battery here today. You can't win them all, Lou City. They've won 6 from 6. The defeat had to come one day.
Charleston scored on their only shot on goal in the second half. What a day for Charleston Battery. They earned their first ever win at Lou City and end all of those unbeaten streaks. 100th career win for Ben Pierman, the second quickest to ever do it in USL Championship history. For Gary Bailey and our entire crew, this is Josh Appel saying so long. Once again, the final, Charleston 2, Lou City 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.